Uh, uh, Create their own platform, sell the music from their own platform, do what Spotify or the other rest of them is doing. I've been thinking about that a long time ago, just to get it set up. Say instead of buying from Spotify, you buy from me.
Welcome to Reggae Hour, where the music, culture, and real stories come alive. Pull up close, every episode brings truth, rhythm, and a fresh perspective. Reggae Hour. Join us for the Reggae Hour. Leave your comments in the section if you want to know more. All right, so we got Steve Tulloch coming in. Let's go ahead and send him an invite right now and get him on.
Yeah, man, I'm up on the camera. You see me?
There we go. There we go. I got you now. So let me go ahead and make sure, since you're the man of the hour, we're going to put you front and center. We're going to make sure that everybody can see you. And yeah, let's go ahead. Ladies and gentlemen, this is...
Man, up close, up and personal.
Yes. Finally, we're going to get this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been struggling for a while. My streaming app kind of went down on us, so we had to figure out something else. So I'm glad Steve, he toughed it out with me, and we finally got it up and running. Thank you, Steve, for toughing it out with me today.
Yeah, man, I don't know. More love, more respect, more honor. That's it.
All right. So let's go ahead and get it started. Right now, we got the boss lady G speaking, saying hello, Steve.
Hi, G, how are you? Hope all is well.
All right.
Thanks for coming in.
Yes. So we're going to go ahead and get it pumping right now. So for all of y'all that just tuned in, we are BOSS Radio's Reggae Hour, where we come to y'all live and in effect. So we're going to be definitely, we're going to be giving y'all way more interviews here on TikTok. So we just ask for y'all to tune in and turn up for us. Give me one more moment. We're going to... All right, so let's get it started. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we're honored to be joined by an artist whose journey reflects the heart of roots reggae. Coming out of Kingston 13, a community known for its rich cultural influence, Steve Tulloch has remained committed to making music with purpose. His career began at the legendary Studio One, where he sang background vocals alongside Johnny Osborne during the early stages of Osborne's rise. Later, under the mentorship of producer George Megum, Steve recorded his first single, Ghetto Life, beginning a musical journey rooted in truth and lived experience. Today, through I&I Records International, Steve continues to carry that message with his album, Belly Want Food. His songs speak to everyday struggles while encouraging listeners to uplift themselves and seek positive change. Inspired by the tradition of Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and Burning Spear, Steve believes reggae should do more than entertain. It should educate, inspire, and make a meaningful difference. Please help us welcome to Reggae Hour, Steve Tulloch. How you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. You?
I'm doing great, and I'm so happy that you decided to tough it out with us. We had some issues. We were supposed to be on for over an hour ago, but you toughed it out with us, and that's the resilience that reggae teaches you right there. So we know
man,
you are
all in the game, man. Things can't be perfect every day. I don't know how the thing goes.
You're right about that, and I love that you gave me some great advice because it was starting to get a little frustrating for me. But you said, just have patience. It's going to happen. And as soon as you said that, I calmed down.
Get tough, the tough gets going, you know?
You're right about that. Yes, sir. So, yeah, Steve, we got to know more about you. We got to get to know you. So, you grew up in Kingston 13. That's an area that has deep cultural legacy. And what it was like growing up there, and how did that environment shape you into the artist that you become today?
Well, it basically begins from my stepmother, because she had a great love for the arts, so that's where it started. Christmas morning concerts at Regal Theatre, Carib, I didn't miss none of those, So that's where the journey started, from those early days. So from that, I've been inspired in such a way that I decided to take on the music from an early age.
So that's how you end up getting that experience, starting at a young age with already experienced people behind you. So tell me, what was that like being mentored, like being groomed at a young age? Did you understand that you had this talent, or did you feel like you was being taught something that was being, that children had to learn?
No, no, no. I must say it's a gift. You know, I was born with it. It's an inborn talent. You know, from birth. You know,
Okay,
it's only that my stepmother helped me to own the talent. You know,
that's
and kick me off on the journey. You see me?
I hear you. I hear you. And yeah, and your career, it started off legendary. I mean, you got to start at Studio One. I mean, everybody knows Studio One for the name, but you was there during the time it was gaining that name. You got background vocals with Johnny Osborne and so many more tracks that you got with these legends. What are some memories from that period that still influence you today?
It, it has given me a sense of worth. You know, being someone special, to find myself in such a place. You know, and that just the memory of that keeps me moving and makes me know that I'm important. You know, so that's what keeps fueling me from that day on to this day.
Hey, that's some great fuel right there. I mean, you're pretty much you're on what they say. You're standing on the shoulders of giants, and that's what makes your music so projected. It carries the essence that not a lot of music carries nowadays. What is it that hones you and keeps you steady on the path of roots reggae and keeping the message alive? What makes you stay focused on that?
Okay, there's a lot of things happening around me. You know, daily experiences. You know that you have to sing to the world in order for them to understand. You know, so it's a daily education from the experiences I've been gaining over the years in and around my community. Even when I go out, out of my community, there are so many things, to sing about and to, you know, yeah, motivate others, educate others, yeah, in such a way that, it's very important to me.
That's real. And see, that's exactly what the essence of reggae was about. I mean, coming out of struggle and dealing with everyday life, you had to understand how to be able to survive and get through all the atrocities that were just happening, especially the black people in this colonialized era. Now, growing up, and you got to experience a lot in life, and you got the mentorship of George Meagum. I mean, that was early in your career. Tell me some of the stuff that you got to learn from him. Like, not just about music, but tell me some stuff about life. Because listening to his music, you know he knew a lot about life.
Okay, well, George Needham was just another person in my community who embraced reggae music, because he was a jeweler, by profession. Not really a producer, but seeing that he loved the music at that time, he decided to venture into that field, But at that time, there was three of us, the sufferers. We call ourselves the sufferers. I mean, everybody asks why we call ourselves that name, but at that time, we came together as a group. Me, Jerry Small, and Errol Dunn at that time, So the first song we did as a group, it was Grease and Palm by Jerry Small. I and myself and Errol Dunn was a backup singer in that one. Yeah. So that was our first single, and from there on I recorded a solo, Ghetto Life, So from there, the whole thing, the seed was planted, and the tree began to blossom and the fruits began to bear. So the branches have spread this far.
Yes, and it's like I said, they spread far and they reach far. They reach a lot of hearts. And you said you just said it. You cut that song "Ghetto Life" while you was with George Meagum. Tell me, what about that song what message was you trying to push off to people? Because it still feels relevant today, but I want to make sure that it's still the message that you wanted to push out with that song when you dropped that song originally.
Yeah, man, because it's still current. It is still current because all what I've been singing about from that time is still happening at this time. Life in the ghetto and nice. You know, police a fire shot, bad boy a fire back, resident have to get flat. You understand what I say? Yeah. So it's still relevant up until this day, so nothing changes. It just evolves.
Mm. You're right about that, and that's saying a lot, especially coming from a time where we had to fight just to be able to speak, and now we're here in 2026, and it still feels like when we're in a fight to be able to speak. Tell me, what about your music, or what about reggae has seen progress in the world that we can attribute, that we could say that if it wasn't for reggae, we wouldn't be at this point right here?
Reggae music has done a lot for the whole universe, for the global. Reggae music is a global music that people constantly depend on. Yeah, for motivation, for health reason, for educational purposes, so many other different things. Reggae has so many ingredients in it. Yeah.
That's right. And it's for the everyday people, I believe. You know what I'm saying? It's not for the elites. It's not for the people who are the 1% or the best of the best. It's for every ordinary day people. And you can hear that in the words that it's because every ordinary day people can relate to the lyrics. Do you think that role is more important today than ever?
Sure. It's very important right now. It's very important right now. Yeah, because people crave for it, worldwide. Yeah, people live by it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
it generates so many income.
Yes. Yes. Definitely. And I was just about to say that. There's so many economic disasters and hardships and different wars and food insecurity. There's so much stuff that's going on around the globe that we can see the growing inequality. Like, how can reggae continue to give people hope during these times? Every time we turn on the TV, we see a war. Every time we turn on the TV, we see destruction and turmoil. What does reggae offer that can get us away from that?
Reggae is a voice. Reggae is a voice, for the oppressed, for the depressed, for the downtrodden. So it gives us strength. That's what it does.
And give me some times that it gave you strength. Like, tell me a time in your life that you had to grab onto something and reggae was there for you to grab onto.
Yeah, man. Whenever I'm feeling down, I just, go on my phone and just listen to some song. Not necessarily my songs, but the songs of Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, all the greats in the music. So reggae do lifts me up when I'm at my lowest point.
That's real. And that's exactly what I tell people. It's if that song doesn't put you in a better position when that song goes off, what you listening to it for? I mean, you got all this great music out here. You got all these great artists. Yeah, in every genre, you're gonna have what you consider slackness. Tell me, do you think that slackness has its place in this world, or do you think it just the way that people are trying to infuse slackness with roots reggae, is that even appropriate?
It's not a matter of being appropriate, but every man have to decide their own destiny, You understand? Because from birth, there's good and bad, negative and positive. So it's for you to choose the right one.
That's right. You're right. You're right. And the reason why I'm asking is because I don't know if you heard the controversy that happened at the Reggae Sumfest in Germany this past weekend or past week. There was an act that set up the stage, and they put decoration on the stage, which was pretty much it was a woman's bottom upside down, and they said it was make reggae twerk again or something like that. And a lot of people was like, this isn't a place for that. So I was wondering, what would you think if somebody come into a spot and they're trying to push the slackness dancehall or any kind of music that isn't relevant to the festival or to the arena that we're in right now. How would you approach a situation like that?
Well, here I am now. It's a from birth. People always try to distort the positives, with negatives, But it's for us to fight, stand up and fight, stand up and fight, for what you believe in, So that's the only way we can eliminate those negativeness, whatever sort of negativeness it is. That's the only way we can get rid of it, If we stand up and do what is right, there will be no space for them.
Exactly. And you used sing backup vocals for Johnny Osborne. And tell me, like, what was that about? Like, what was that like being in the studio with him? Like, was it positive? Was it uplifting? Did he give you some advice or some life lessons, or how was that for you?
Well, that was great. You know why it was great for me? Because it was my first time in the Studio One, at Studio One. It was my very first time when Sir Coxon asked me to accompany him in the studio. And when I went in there, Johnny Osborne was there recording about 3 songs, Yeah. So I'm just telling my part of the story from that time. Yeah. Sir Coxon presented me some rhythms at the time, and I listened to a couple of them, and I chose one. Yeah, and I did a song. There comes a time in everyone's life when he or she has to go. And when the time comes, you just can't say no. So make sure you're building on a firm foundation where there's equal rights and justice for everyone. Cause time has no measure. Do good, make it your ledger. Cause the good you do lives after you. So keep this in mind. Cause we're living in a dread time. In spite of all the bumping and boring, we should spend more time loving, sharing our love for everyone. Yeah, and that was a song I did at Studio One. So when Sir Coxon heard my voice in the song, he said to me, I want you to do harmonies for Johnny Osborne's song that he has just recorded. And to tell you the truth, I had no idea how to do harmonies. But at that time, I had to show my class. I did do the harmonies, because at the time, Johnny Osborne did a song that goes, Youth man in the ghetto say, if you know yourself. Youth man in the ghetto say, behave yourself. Youth man in the ghetto, I better you cool. No file a bad company, go fire no tool. Cause when the Babylon a come, it's the innocent one sometimes fall down. So youth man in the ghetto, I better you cool. No follow bad company, go fire no tool. Yeah, that was one of the songs Johnny Osborne did, And he did another one that said, me no ram, me no play, me no skin, me no joke. Now weighing up chain, boy cut my throat, sell my chain and buy enough coke. Him and him friend pick up a big sport. Some of them are sip and some of them are smoke. It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. So much confusion. Down there in the ghetto. Down there in the ghetto. It's a dog world down there. It's a dog world down there. Say them start off with a rat race and then end up in a cat face. Me no ram, me no play, me no skin, me no joke. Now weighing up chain, boy cut my throat, sell my chain and buy enough coke. Him and him friend figure pop big sport. Some of them are sniff and some of them are smoke. It's just an illusion. It's just an illusion. So much confusion. Down there in the ghetto. Down there in the ghetto. Yeah, those are the songs I did put some harmonies on, So I was feeling so great at that time. I even got $500 for my song that I did at that time, way back then. So it was great. It was good. It was interesting.
Yes.
You don't know.
Oh yeah, and then people hear you now and saying you got $500. They don't understand that in that time, $500 in that economy, that was some money. That was some good money at that time.
That was a great deal for me. That was a great that was quite a lot of money for me at that time. I was like probably 17 or 18 years old. So compared from that time to now, I'm actually in my 60s.
That's
So
right.
you see what I'm talking about.
Exactly, exactly. And the boss lady G gave you a shot. She said your voice is still amazing. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's exactly why y'all need to go and spin that music right after this interview, though. We still got a lot to cover. Yeah, so tell me, Johnny Osborne, you're being in the studio doing backup vocals for him, but when you're off the mic, how is it for him? Was he all serious, all business, or was he on the lighter side and he was like real friendly to get along
Oh,
with?
Dennis Byrne, artists are like, gentle people, humble people, simple. Artists have a simplicity about them. You look at me and he said, "Boy, you have a unique voice." That was what he said to me. I feel so good at that
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
He
that's
told me
a
I had a unique voice.
and that's a major big up right there. When you got an artist in
Yeah,
that
man.
stature telling you that's right there, he solidified your future. He made sure that you was going to be making music for the rest of your life.
Definitely, definitely.
Now, many people say that roots reggae has always been the voice. I'm sorry. I'm repeating the question. Now, social media has changed how music reach audiences. Like over your time of watching music get cut from vinyl to cassette to CD, and now it's digitally streamed. Do you think today's artists can still create timeless message music in such a fast-moving world?
Sure they do. Sure they do. I mean, the digital world has its advantage and disadvantages. You know, um, one of the things I've learned about the digital now in regards to the vinyl would be more viable for us as artists because we're not making any money right now from the digital. While back in our days, we could go to the pressing plant and press any amount of copies of vinyl we want and go sell it and we have money, but we can't do it like that. No. So that has been a big setback for us as artists. You know,
Yeah, no,
while the digital now has its own way of promoting us worldwide. I mean, it might be a little bit quicker than a vinyl. But it's. I mean, we have evolved. We have come a long way. So there are always been changes in life. So we just have to work with it and adjust ourselves to it. And make it work to the
right.
best of our advantage.
You're right about that. You're right about it. It hurts the pockets of the artist because I just seen a post earlier today where Snoop Dogg got paid from Spotify for his billion streams that he finally made on Spotify, and he got a whopping $45,000 for a billion streams. And the only thing I kept
I think
thinking.
that should be more.
Exactly. If it was pressed on a CD and you had to sell the CD, that would be a lot more, a significantly lot more. So
Right, right. You would
somebody,
have to be wheelbarrowing money from anywhere. Put it in
exactly,
a wheelbarrow or a big giant sized truck to transport it.
exactly. So it's just like you said, it does get you marketing around the world very quickly, quicker than a vinyl. But there got to be some kind of limit set where maybe Spotify gets your hit. They get your one hit song that represents the album, but you better go to the store to purchase that album. There got to be some kind of a model. Like, what do you think a good model or off the top of your head? I know this nice dropped on you at the last minute, but what kind of model you think would be perfect for artists to be able to see their residuals, see the money that they're supposed to see from their art?
The model. Oh, the present model that they have, it's not effective. I don't think it's effective. I don't think it's accurate. You know, I don't think it's accurate. I have no quick solution or no quick fix for that. But I'll have to explore it some more,
What
and
would you
then I could give an answer.
What would you suggest to the new artists that are coming up, the ones that are trying to get into this game, but they don't want to get taken advantage of like Spotify is doing? What would you tell them?
Create their own platform, sell the music from their own platform. do what Spotify or the other rest of them is doing. I've been thinking about that a long time ago, just to get it set up. Say instead of buying from Spotify, you buy from me.
Right. Exactly. You got to own your own platform. That's one of the big things that we definitely got to be able to push to everybody in order to be able to understand that that's how you control your music. That's how you make sure you get your money. Now, that means you're going to have to grind harder. You have to work harder. Tell me about some work ethics. What are some work practices that help you be able to get your name established on the level that it is at right now? Something that the other artists can actually take hold of as some advice.
The most important thing is this discipline, consistency. You have to be consistent. You have to be confident also. Your confidence plays a great role. Consistency also plays a great role. You understand what I say? Yeah. So you got to have all of these attributes in order to progress.
Exactly. And speaking of these young artists, you did mention artists like Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, Burning Spear as inspirations for you. Like, what do you think the younger artists have to do now to preserve that, that essence that we got from the Roots generation?
Just emulate the foundation, do their research, because some artists doesn't know a Burning Spear. Some artists, you name it. Some artists don't know. Some new artists don't know the foundation, where the foundation start from. So I'd suggest that they go and do their research.
So pretty much you saying they got to do their research. They got to know who the founding fathers are. Who are the people that set this standard? So with that being said, who do you suggest that they actually Steve, you still there? Alright, so the last question we was actually talking about the youth and trying to keep them attached to the Roots reggae generation. And I was asking you about if you, other than Bob Marley, Peter Tosh, and Burning Spear, are there any other inspirations that those that don't get that much notoriety that should get that notoriety?
Well, in terms of making music, and towards the youth, it's like, you've got to do lyrics that makes you relevant. That people want to listen to you. You understand what I said? So if you just keep saying foolishness, people will listen, but not everyone will listen. Yeah.
Yeah, now you're right about that.
So you just have to just make songs with lyrics that make sense.
Right. Now you're right about that. You're right about that, and it's not. It's you got a lot of artists that's trying to keep it alive. But internationally, do you know any artists that you can say that you actually can point to internationally, like such in Nigeria or Africa, UK, or anything like that, that is keeping reggae alive internationally?
There's a lot of artists out there in Africa who, because Jamaica is one of the world leading when it comes to reggae. We are the foundation. So people will always want to emulate us. And I'm sure there's a lot of African artists out there who does a lot of positive songs because they have been listening to reggae all their life. So it has inspired them to take that same pathway. So I'm sure there's a lot of them out there. I not necessarily can name all of them, but I'm sure, I'm positive.
Hey. And yeah, they are. There's definitely some out there, and that's one thing about reggae. It's like you say, it's universal. If it touches your heart, you're going to relate to it, and you're going to have it in your life forever after that. And that's why we have to actually keep this reggae alive. And when people are listening to you, and they say this is Steve Tulloch from 20 years ago. What do you hope that they remember about you? Not just about your songs, but about your purpose.
Oh, they can see that I'm a serious Jamaican, yeah, who talk about equal rights and justice. Sorry, who talk about love, yeah. They don't know, yeah. I mean that they might remember about me, man. See me as a man where, deal with simplicity, we deal with love. We deal with, humanitarianism. Yeah. So all of them things are important in our life. You see me? Yeah. That them gonna remember about me.
That's right. I hear you on that. And if you, what one message do you want to leave the world? That one thing that when they play your a clip of you after you have transcended and you're doing the next step that the Most High has for us, what do you want them to play? What is it that you want them to what do you want to say to the world that they will play over and over after you're gone?
Yeah, we just want to say to the world, yeah, each and every individual just know yourself. Saying, make them know so right now, love are the way. Love are the only way. Because war and hate are destruction. You see me? War and hate are bring down the whole human race. And we don't want that. So love we say. You eat love, you drink love, you talk love, you write love. You see me?
That's real. That's right. And it's all that's what the foundation is. The foundation is always going to be love.
That's the only way humanity can exist. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because if we go on with love, with hate and war, we just have to destroy the whole world and we destroy ourselves.
Right. Exactly. And that's why, before we do go any further, I do want to, since we're talking about love, I want to send a very special shout out to the boss lady G. Right now, she is laid up in healing right now from an accident that she occurred. So we just want to send our blessings and our prayers to the boss lady G. We know you're going to recover. We just hope you recover as soon as possible. That way you can get back out here and start cruising with us again.
Yeah, man, you don't know. More love and more life, Lady G. Prayers goes out, same way.
So, yeah, but now I just wanted to make sure I sent that love out. And before we actually take off for today, is there anything that you want to tell us? Any new ventures, any new projects? Are you doing any shows in Jamaica that we should be making it down there to see? Tell us what's going on in the world of Steve Tulloch.
No shows right now, but presently I'm working on an album. I've gone probably about 9 tracks and a 16-track album. I've already finished about 9 tracks. So you don't know. So six tracks left to go. No, 7 tracks left to go. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay.
I've not yet decided a name for that album, but it's gonna be great.
Yeah, you beat me to it. That was the next thing I was gonna ask you too. Have you already decided what your hit is gonna be off the album?
No, all of them are hits. All of them are hits.
All of them hits. Oh, I hear you. That's real. That's real. So if I'm trying to look out for it, where should I tune into? Do you have like your website? Do you want us to stay tuned to you on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook?
Well, definitely, it will be coming out on all digital platforms. I don't know that are the trend, the digital platform, until I set up my own platform. But for now, all of the digital platform, it's going to depend on it. You understand what I said? Yeah.
And do we look up Steve Tulloch on all the streaming services?
Yeah, man, definitely.
There you go. There you go, everybody. And plus, we're going to go ahead and do the work for y'all. We're going to get all the links. That way you can look in the show notes of this live or of this episode, especially if you're looking on either YouTube or if you're looking on TikTok, Instagram, wherever. Look in the show notes. Click that link that's going to lead you to Steve Tulloch Official so you can make sure y'all can follow him while he is producing this wonderful album. We know it's going to be wonderful because, you can't, if you don't water down the sauce, it's always going to be good, right, Steve?
Right now, extra special. It's going to be extra special. I'm putting every effort in it.
Tell us a little bit about it. Like, what is the essence that you're going for? What's the feel that you want people to leave with?
It's strictly reality, Strictly reality. With a 2 lovers rock here and there. With a strictly reality. Whether things that is happening around us. Yeah, it's going to be that too. But lovers rock are going back too. You see me? So it go up, man. It go up. Straight up.
That part. That's what we got to keep you around for, man. We got to keep you around for that positivity, keeping it up, Yes, sir.
I can give a punchline after one of them,
Yes.
Leaders of the world, they're doing crazy things. Oh my God, the people are suffering. Leaders of the world, they're doing crazy things. Oh my God, the people are suffering. Yeah, one of the punchline that. And now going no more.
Yes, sir. That right there was Steve Tulloch, everybody, with that beautiful voice, man. You know what? If you're hearing it through TikTok and you think it sound good, imagine hearing it on that track, on that CD, or on that vinyl. So y'all better make sure y'all get out there and find them right now. Steve, is anybody you want to give a shout out to before we leave? Anybody you want to bring special attention?
I want to people that don't forget shout out to Rasta. Big up Sky Vice Lawrence, Natalie Sky Vice Lawrence, I'm man manager. We don't know, dedicated. Well, I don't know if it terms it, but that woman is such a workaholic when it comes to promoting, producing, all the things that involves music. She's like a maestro at that. You know, I lift my hat to her. Big up Christine Rendell, you don't know. Big up all of the radio people them who support me. PJ Bobby out in Canada there, so. Bless up. Big up Bingy Music. You don't know. Big up J Written. Yeah. The youth them an engineer, you know. J Written is an artist, so, but yeah, I'm special, you know. Yeah, big up. I'm on tour in England now, you know. Leaving to Spain.
Yes.
When I'm finished the leg of tour then. So as me I say, big up all of the radar people them. Yeah, big up my fans them. You know. Can't call the people them name because I don't know it got too numerous. That take too long. So big up, much love, much respect. You know, I'm an appreciative of it. Family, work, family. Family to me is special. Family, work, family. Family to me is special. Respect goes a long way, yeah, yeah. With love in your heart, embrace your family today. I'm so enthused when we can come together. Respect your mother, respect your father. From the foundation we rise, we never think to fall. We adhere to the principles, now we're standing tall. Family, work, family, family to me is special. Yeah, man, big up everyone when I'm a family. Sing it, one love, every time.
One love, everybody. Steve Tulloch in the building, giving y'all an impromptu performance in the building. Come on now. You ain't gonna get that nowhere but Reggae Hour and Steve Tulloch official TikTok page. So if you're listening right now, follow him right now. You can click his name, hit that follow button. Make sure y'all show some love. Hear that music, put that music in your heart, and let's breed love, everybody, so we can get rid of all this turmoil in the world. Steve, it was a wonderful having you on today. Thank you for spending time with the Reggae Hour family and for continuing to use...
Thanks for having me, man. It was a joy all over.
Yes, and you continue to use reggae music as a vehicle for truth, upliftment, and positive change. Now, to everyone that was watching, if today's conversation inspired you, be sure to support Steve Tulloch by listening to his music, following his official social media channels, and sharing his message with others. His latest work, including Belly Want Food, continues the tradition of conscious reggae that speaks to the realities of everyday life. And if you're new to Reggae Hour, don't forget to subscribe or follow. Every week we bring you conversations with reggae artists, historians, and cultural voices who help us understand the music, the message, and the moment behind reggae. Until next time, walk good, stay rooted, keep the music alive, tune in, turn up, and zone out. Steve, once again, it was a blessing having you on. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, man, give thanks for giving me the privilege, you know, to do so. You don't know, no respect.
Welcome to Reggae Hour, where the music, culture, and real stories come alive. Pull up close, every episode brings truth, rhythm, and a fresh perspective. Reggae Hour. Join us for the Reggae Hour.